The Nintendo Switch has built up an impressive library of games to play over the last 3 years, and it's always a lot of fun to pick out your personal favorites, and that's exactly what I'll be doing today. As always with these types of videos, these are just my opinions. I'm sure my list will be much different than yours would be, but instead of getting mad about it, just share your opinion in the comments. I'd love to see what your favorite Switch games are. One quick thing to know about me before we jump in is that I don't really like JRPGs, so don't expect any titles like Xenoblade or Octopath Traveler to be on my list. I'm sure they are all great games, but they just aren't for me. With that out of the way, let's jump into my top 25 Nintendo Switch games. Starlink Battle for Atlas is often overlooked by Switch fans, likely due to its Toys to Life format. But if you skip this game, you're missing out on an awesome space exploration adventure. And if you play on Switch, you'll be able to play as Fox McCloud and his signature Arwing from the Star Fox series. The world of Starlink is massive, offering multiple diverse planets to explore. However, Starlink does suffer from a few of the problems that Ubisoft games often have. Repetitive mission structure and a somewhat lackluster story make the overall experience a little less enjoyable. But you are still left with a great open-world space adventure game. Untitled Goose Game is the indie game that took the world by storm when it released, probably because of its hilarious gameplay. In this game, you play as a goose, and you have one simple goal: make everyone's life miserable. Messing around with the villagers and making their daily life a lot harder is a ton of fun. Combine that with the stealth-like mechanics, and you get a game that is a blast to play. One of the only major flaws is how short the whole game is, lasting only around 3 hours. Finishing Untitled Goose Game left me wanting more, but that doesn't change how enjoyable those 3 hours are. Causing chaos has never been this much fun. Mario Tennis Aces delivers gameplay that is more refined and complex than it ever has been, and mastering the mechanics to beat your opponent never gets old. The one key area that Mario Tennis Aces is missing is a great single-player mode. The story mode that is provided is over too soon and frustratingly shallow. It works as a short distraction, but lacks the depth I would like from a single-player mode. Luckily though, the multiplayer is fantastic. With multiple updates since launch, the multiplayer has expanded to become the best part of this game. Joining online tournaments and battling players around the world is exciting and engaging, and it offers one of the best online experiences on the Switch. Golf Story is so much more than just a golfing game. Not only does it deliver great gameplay mechanics that make swinging your club precise and fun, but Golf Story also offers a surprisingly deep single-player story. On your adventure to become a golf pro, you will visit many different locations, each one unique. From the run-down, well-worn grove to the vibrant beaches of the Bermuda Isles, Golf Story always keeps the story feeling fresh. You will also meet multiple different characters and friends along the way, although many of them insult you constantly. This game always kept me entertained with its fun golfing gameplay, diverse courses, and well-written characters. Pokemon Sword and Shield are some of the most controversial Switch games released, and while I agree with many of the issues people have with the games, I still enjoyed my playthrough. The world of the Galar region is huge and varied, with many great characters inhabiting it. Creating your team of Pokemon and training them to be the best is still just as fun today as it was on the Game Boy. My biggest problem with the game was the repetitive combat system, where I found myself using the same Pokemon and moves over and over again. This probably reveals a lot about me, but my favorite part of Pokemon Sword and Shield was everything that happened outside the battlefield. Cadence of Hyrule is like a love letter to Zelda fans. It combines a creative rhythm-based movement system with some amazing Legend of Zelda music. Seriously, the remixes in this game are really great. The rhythm-based combat creates interesting enemy encounters that become more of a puzzle than a fight. To succeed in this game, you will need to recognize enemy patterns and be able to counter them. The story is short and sweet, but is enjoyable while it lasts. The real value here is the musical combat and Zelda fan service. Fighting a large group of classic Zelda enemies while listening to a remix of Lost Woods is sure to make any Zelda fan happy. Hollow Knight's dark, atmospheric world and tough, precise combat creates one of the best Metroidvanias on Switch. Fighting massive, bug-like creatures is a challenging experience that rewards dedicated players. However, I often found myself dying in frustrating ways that felt out of my control. I know it takes patience and practice, but I would have liked the difficulty curve to be a little less intense. The mood and atmosphere of this world are helped by great music that fits each area very well. I do think the upgrades and improvements you find are spaced a little too far apart, but that's probably just me being impatient. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is the game I never thought I would like. On paper, Rabbids and turn-based combat sounds like a disaster to me, but the finished product is surprisingly good. I thought the combat was actually pretty fun, and creating a group of Mario and friends take on challenges kept things interesting. Mario with a gun is still weird, but in a good way. Carefully planning your attacks for each turn was a fun gameplay loop, and the exploration elements were also very well implemented. Although a few of the puzzles could get pretty frustrating, and luckily for me, the Rabbids' annoying sense of humor seemed to be toned down a bit, which was very nice. Rocket League is one of the best online multiplayer games on the Switch. The car soccer competitive gameplay is insanely fun and unlike any other online multiplayer game, and gives you enjoyable online matches for hours. Unfortunately, some of the matches in Rocket League become more frustrating than fun. Like most online games, there's always someone who's way better than you, and you will have moments where it feels like there was nothing you could have done to stop the opponents. But luckily those moments are few and far between. Customizing your car is also a very big part of this game, so you can boost around the arena in style. Scoring a well-planned goal in this game is one of the most rewarding payoffs in all of gaming. Stardew Valley is a perfect example of an indie success story. The entire game was created by one man. The visuals, characters, and even the music. This game is obviously such a personal and passion-filled project full of small details that make Pelican Town somewhere you will want to spend a lot of time. Farming is only one small part of this game. There's also fishing, mining, crafting, home customization, and so much more. Even after many hours of play, I still find myself coming back to this world to relax. If you enjoy games like Animal Crossing or Harvest Moon, you're sure to find enjoyment in Stardew Valley. Minecraft is one of the biggest milestones in video game history, offering you complete creative control over almost everything. A true open-world sandbox, the sky's the limit on what you can create and achieve in this game. Both survival and creative mode can deliver hours and hours of pure fun. If you can imagine it, chances are you can create it in Minecraft. And the Switch is the best way to play Minecraft on the go, so you can build wherever you are. I'm sure you have already heard plenty about this game, and there's little I can say that hasn't already been said. What looks like a simple block-based kids game can actually be a gaming experience unlike anything else. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom is the spiritual successor to the Wonder Boy series, and it works very well. The fantasy setting where everyone has been turned into animals is such a great setting for this game. You play as Monster Boy, a character who can transform into multiple different forms. As you play, you unlock these new forms. There's a small snake who can maneuver in small spaces, a frog who can breathe underwater, a warrior lion who can charge across water, and even a flying dragon who can breathe fire. Each new form brings new abilities and keeps the gameplay from getting boring. I'm always up for an epic fantasy tale, and this game delivers. Combine that with the awesome soundtrack and you get an amazing fantasy adventure game. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is the best Donkey Kong game, and also one of the best Nintendo platformers ever. Donkey Kong's platforming is exact, and the level design is fantastic. Each mechanic is fleshed out to its fullest potential, and you will find yourself in creative and inventive scenarios. With terrific music to go along with each level, and the perfect difficulty curve that keeps things tough but fair, you get one of the best platforming games on Switch. However, this game really had nothing new added when it was ported to Switch, so I can't put it any higher on the list due to lack of originality in that area. But if you missed it on Wii U, Tropical Freeze is a modern Nintendo classic that you do not want to miss. SteamWorld Dig 2 is a creative and unique open-world platformer where you dig to explore. This lets you create and shape your own map, so depending on where and how you dig, your world will change. As you explore, you will find improvements and upgrades that make exploration easier and faster, as well as being a ton of fun to use. The story and characters of the SteamWorld universe is what sets it apart from other Metroidvanias on Switch. You start the game searching for Rusty, the main character from the first game. As you play, the story takes all sorts of twists and turns that keeps things interesting. This is easily my favorite Metroidvania on Switch because of the story, characters, exploration, and music. Luigis Mansion 3 is the long-awaited next entry in the Luigis Mansion series that started on the GameCube. Luigi is finally the star of his own game, and it's up to him to save the day. The attention to detail in the haunted hotel you explore is amazing. You can interact with every single thing you find, and they all react in different ways. Each floor of this hotel is different than the last, and each has its own feel and theme. Sadly, I found the combat a little shallow, and it got repetitive very fast. But this game is exploding with Nintendo charm and is a must-buy for Luigi fans. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is a beautiful reimagining of the 1993 original on the Game Boy. The new art style gives the game a toy-like and clay feel to it, which works very well and fits into the story. There are many quality of life updates and changes to this classic game, which makes playing the game a whole lot less tedious. The spirit of the original game is still here, but is brought into the modern age. The characters and story of this game are so much different than what you would normally find in a Zelda game. This is now the definitive way to play one of Link's most memorable adventures. Super Mario Maker 2 is the sequel to the groundbreaking Wii U original, where you can build and create your very own Mario levels. This new game brings many new features and options, allowing you to put your creative skills to the test. With an almost infinite amount of online levels to play created by other people, there is always content to enjoy in this game. And with recent updates being added, there is even more to enjoy. Now you can play as Link, who has his own moveset and abilities, and you can even build your own world map to link all your levels together. This game is the best way to play 2D Mario content on Switch, and gives you all the tools for hours of Mario platforming. New Super Lucky's Tale is so much more than a port of the original Xbox One game. Playful Studios rebuilt almost every single aspect of this game to deliver a wonderful 3D platformer. Lucky is easy to control and fun to master, and his burrow move is especially great. Diving in and out of the ground never gets old and makes exploring so much fun. The game looks fantastic too. The art style is so clean and crisp, and the game runs flawlessly. There is also a surprising amount of level variety here. There are big, open 3D levels, 2D platforming challenges, and even some intense auto-running sections. Every moment I spent with this game was pure joy, and I constantly had a smile on my face. Celeste caught me completely off guard. I never expected to enjoy this pixel art platformer as much as I did. Celeste is tough as nails, but instead of kicking you while you're down, it encourages you to get up and try again. Respawns are quick and fast, so you are always up to try it just one more time. Making it through a hard section feels so rewarding, like you really earned it yourself. The story is an extremely personal journey about inner conflict and overcoming life's challenges. The soundtrack is phenomenal and adds to the emotion of the game. When you finish Celeste, you feel like you have gone on this journey with these characters and conquered a mountain. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the best Mario Kart game ever made, and everybody loves Mario Kart. All the tracks are fantastic, each one is distinct and fun to race on. This game delivers the crazy, chaotic multiplayer fun that we have all come to expect from this franchise, and it's better than ever. The balancing feels perfect, where skill is important, but you also have to be lucky, as items can change the race in unexpected ways. This is another Wii U port, but this game actually deserves the deluxe title. With a brand new shiny battle mode and multiple new racers added, this really is the definitive Mario Kart game. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate lives up to its name. It really is the ultimate Smash Bros. Experience. With an impressive roster of 75 fighters with more on the way, and a ton of stages and music, this is everything you would want from a Smash game. The fighting has been refined to near perfection, and mastering a fighter is just as much fun as it always has been. Ultimate offers the couch party gameplay as well as the competitive experience. There is also an expansive single-player mode, World of Light, and while it gets old very fast, it's still a great mode. This game is an epic crossover for not just Nintendo, but all video game characters. This game is simply a must-buy for any Switch owner. Super Mario Odyssey is the return to a large open-level format for the 3D Mario games. Mario has never controlled better, and exploring these huge, diverse areas brings pure joy. Odyssey features a new capture mechanic that lets you throw your hat and control any of the enemies around you. This new feature opens up the game so much and allows many interesting platforming challenges. The game has a massive amount of moons to collect, maybe even too many, but there's always something to do. As is usual with Mario games, each area is full of fun and memorable characters along with some great music. Odyssey also has an impressive endgame that will keep you engaged long after the credits have rolled. While it's not the best of the 3D Mario games, Super Mario Odyssey is a fantastic adventure full of charm, great platforming, and exploring. Splatoon 2 is the perfect example of why I love Nintendo. Splatoon takes the shooter genre and flips it on its head, where instead of trying to gain kills, you're trying to cover as much turf in your ink as possible. The mechanic of switching between a kid and a squid is genius, and gives the gameplay a sense of style. Collecting clothing and abilities to customize your inkling is so much fun and really lets you express yourself. Not only is the multiplayer amazing, but it also offers an impressive single-player story that fleshes out the world of Splatoon. This game has 10 times the personality and style of your average video game. The vibrant colors and energetic music make online matches feel fresh and original. Splatoon is quickly cementing itself as one of Nintendo's best franchises, and Splatoon 2 is one of the best games on Switch. Animal Crossing New Horizons is one of the most relaxing and customizable games I have ever played. To start, you are given an empty island, and you can shape and create your island into whatever you want. The level of customization here is unreal. The sunrises and sunsets, rainy days, and wind blowing across your island give this game an amazing sense of atmosphere. There is always something to do. You can expand your house, shop for new clothes, donate fish and bugs to the museum, and so much more. The real-time gameplay gives the game a laid-back and easygoing feel, so you never feel rushed to do anything. And this game will keep getting updates and improvements for a long time. I will continue to enjoy New Horizons for years, and it's truly one of the best games on the Switch. It's almost a cliche at this point, but The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is the best game on the Nintendo Switch. This game changed the way I think about video games. Its open-air world is so refreshing and still has yet to be topped. This game is the definition of great exploration. You can lose yourself exploring the vast, expansive world of Hyrule, finding all of its secrets. The gorgeous art style brings this world to life, along with wildlife and a dynamic weather system. The world has a complex physics system that allows you to solve puzzles in ways you never could before. Each area in this world is distinct and unique, and the land is inhabited by all sorts of different races and types of NPCs. It's all the small moments that make this game such a masterpiece, like when you are watching the sunrise, wildlife circling around you, and then some perfectly timed piano notes play quietly in the background. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is without a doubt my pick for the best Nintendo Switch game. Well, that's my list for the top 25 Nintendo Switch games. Obviously, everyone will have different opinions on this topic, so share your personal list down below. I'm sure even my own list will continue to change and evolve with time. And remember, the point of this video isn't to argue about which game is better than which, but rather to celebrate the incredible game library of an amazing console. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see ya in the next one.